Yeah, we got to start sometime. So let's do it. Let's do this.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and welcome. Deep from the veils of the glory side, we have tried the matchmaking, tested our new vim and vigor, and are now clutching our hearts in despair as the next patch will supposedly wipe out our pets. This is Strife Talk, Episode 4.
Whoopagoosh!
Damn. Should
And
totally do
now for your
voiceovers.
hosts this evening that don't want to introduce themselves. Up in the top from the pro player section with the glasses of amazing glory, we have Ryzen.
Hello,
Also
everyone.
from the caster perspective, Tintenfisch Joe.
Hi, everybody.
And I, with the epic voice, am WingsLTD, but the man of honor, the star and creator of Strife Talk. Let's hand it over to Vexxie.
Yeah!
Vexxie! Oh, wow.
Oh,
I feel so loved
wow.
right now. I feel so loved right now. But seriously,
They would
guys.
get the love.
Dude, seriously. Patchio. Oh my god.
Patch is pretty
What
intense,
about
man.
it?
Pretty intense.
Well, at first glance, let's pick it apart from the beginning. At first glance, the patch makes sense. I scrolled through it. Normally, I scroll through patch notes on MOBAs, and I immediately find like one or two things that kind of like fill me with disgust. Like, why'd you have to go and do that? But looking at this, it seems pretty well thought through, and from the matches that I did get in after the patch before this show, I felt that most things that they commented on actually achieved what they set out to achieve. Like for example, let's look at Moxie. They nerfed Moxie just a little bit to decrease his early game laning presence, because he was quite strong early game in the laning phase.
Very strong,
I've been going up against a Moxie in all those games, and it was noticeable that that his laning presence was decreased. He didn't do overall as much damage, but I didn't feel like it instantly was like over nerfed where he was underpowered. I still think he's very well balanced, and I kind of like to compare this to the buff they did, the slight buff they did to Caprice, where they just tweaked the spells just a little bit because she felt too clunky to play, and it just put her like there where she was a realistic choice to bring into your lane.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Moxie's in a good spot. They didn't touch his late game at all, and he's a guy that goes into late game, so why not? But I think the biggest thing I like right now is they've fixed that teleporting glitch. Oh my goodness,
Oh, thank
goodness.
God.
That really messed up an entire team, because some guy would just teleport in, you could not tell, and he would just distract the entire team.
Yeah, the teleport bug was unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
I don't know. I
players.
thought it was the best thing ever. I was playing, Flight of the Valkyries while using it and screaming all over the stream whenever I face rolled people with that glitch.
Who didn't? But I actually like what they did with the towers now, because I know the towers are supposed to be kind of like Dota, where they're a safe spot, but it's not like base where they can't touch you. But I think it needed a good buff, because it was way too easy to tower dive people with bow and Minerva and all that. So I think it's a good thing they did that.
Yeah, the towers didn't really
I don't
provide
know.
much safety.
Towers attack so fast now. Like,
Hey,
diving
Ryzen,
is
how many
such-
times have you dove people, behind the tier 2 tower in the generator in this last week and been successful?
Not as successful as before, that's for sure. Like, the towers attack so much faster than they did.
It's definitely dropped.
You will be punished early game if you dive, for sure.
Yeah, that totally tripped me up. I tried to tower dive somewhere, early mid game, because it was like, okay, it's mid game, got items, I got this, and I tried it like twice in different games, and not one of the times did I get away successful. I got the kill though, but it ended up, tower ended up getting me, because that stacking attack speed, they gain the 60 attack speed over time when attacking the enemy hero.
Yeah.
That just kind of like, during the diving, you need to get at least one or two abilities off, and that's just enough time for the tower to stack a couple of hits, and you still have to get out from the minion wave, and that just kind of does you in. And I haven't found a successful way around that. Now late game is obviously different, but
B bow and charge through it.
Speaking of like stacking, how do you feel now, guys, about the fact that we actually have to shift Q Ace's abilities for the face roll?
Oh yeah, that reminded me a lot of Kozik's change in LOL, where he can't cast all his abilities in one fell swoop. He has to do it conservatively now. It's kind of a big thing because a lot of people got. Well, for me, a lot of my kills were during my spin, or just one shot someone. But now it's much harder.
I think that's a bit for the better because there'll be times you're just spinning and
Yeah,
just
no, it is
immediately
for the
blow
better.
up. Like the hell.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
Straw Hat,
It
can
makes
you-
him less scary.
I mean, when we did the show matches 2 weeks ago, Straw Hat Kenny, when he was playing Ace, got his farm up. Man, that
Yeah.
he just went around one-clicking everybody with Ace.
Ace can snowball so well, but I feel like with the change, he's okay now.
The one thing I did notice is that, like, I know I probably shouldn't bring this up here, but I'm going to anyways, because that Lord Tweed, man, woo, that guy makes me hot under the collar. But he was complaining about how Minerva and Vermilion and Rook and he's pretty much complaining that everyone that he wasn't playing was OP, even though he was playing Minerva. Right? Like, I'm sorry, but you see, I'm sorry, am I blind? But I don't see any like
No, you're
Minerva
totally
changes and stuff to the to this patch. So I don't know. Do you guys still think that because like Minerva and those guys aren't getting tweaked, that they're still too high of burst?
No, Vermilion just needs farm. If he gets farm and gets like his items, yeah, he's gonna be freaking a devastating force. But he's never overpowered. He's very easy to take down.
Yeah, I can see how he was saying Minerva because Minerva is one of the strongest, if not the strongest champion right now. But I wouldn't say one that's overpowered at all. There's still a way to shut it down. So
Hey, well, they nerfed Dragon Shield, and a lot of Minerva's picked that
Yeah.
up. So she got a slight
That's
nerf
true.
indirectly.
Even though they reduced Dragon Shield.
yeah,
let's
Even though they
knock
reduced
it down
Dragon
by
Shields.
50.
which was needed.
It was a 30, right? Went from 200 to 170.
Small change, but
If you had to pick one thing, I'm pretty sure that if we asked people before the patch in the chat room, if you had to pick one item that was going to receive a nerf, in the next patch, I'm pretty sure 9 out of 10 would say Dragon Shield.
oh yes, I would have definitely
Yeah,
said
yeah.
Dragon Shield.
And the one other person would have been like me and said Inferno brand.
Yeah.
You think so?
which did
Uh,
get nerfed too, actually.
It did get
Oh,
nerfed
did it?
because
Oh, wow.
yeah, you could stack up the power on it just as much. I mean, and plus they all stack together. Like in Radiance, Dota doesn't stack, and in Han it doesn't stack either. But you got five
Oh,
people,
you're right.
with
You're right.
63 damage per second coming at
Yeah, that's
you.
true.
Yeah.
Dex Gaming got a lot of wins just because of that combo. They got like 3 Inferno brands and just stand around people and they died.
Yeah, I think it does less damage to creeps now.
Oh,
Look at the patch here.
They
Yeah,
need to
that's
make
true.
it where it doesn't stack, and then it's fine, as long as it doesn't stack anymore.
yeah. I mean, it does cost a lot though, so I guess it would take a long time, at least like 20 minutes for everyone to get one. But
Yeah, right now it says Inferno Brand is properly classified as Splash, so 20% less to creeps and half effect from Magic Vamp. So you can't get Soul Stealer and just be alive in a fight forever.
Yeah, but it still
Really good
makes it to
combo.
where if you have, all 5 people building Inferno brands, that is what, about
Like
250
base
damage
80,
per second.
yeah,
Yep,
it's really
base.
deadly.
and then it can stack with power too, which be terrible. Yeah, the Healing Rod is probably get a little patch or nerf next game because everyone's
Yeah, but-
getting Healing Rod.
Yeah,
Healing Rod is amazing.
Healing Rod is strong, very very strong.
Yeah, it's very
Probably
amazing.
the best starting item.
I think what's funny, I think the same logic applies as what Wings said in episode 1. In Wings episode 1 said in episode 1, Wings said, for newcomers, this is how you play the game. You get a Dragon Shield, and then when you have your Dragon Shield, you decide on your final build, because it saves you so many times. And especially during the
It really
early
does.
game, because you can get it straight off the bat. I think that's the exact same, reasoning towards Healing Rod, is you can get it. I used to get a Silver Buckler for that extra defense, but then I figured, on-demand mana regeneration or mana refill and health refill would be so much better than to just have like passive reduction of incoming damage. And I started bringing a healing rod onto almost every game, and I've been so much more successful. And I've crafted I've reached legendary today with the crafting, so yay, more OPness.
The only way to
Yeah.
stop a Healing Rod is for the other guy to get to use it.
The how I see it, the Dragon Shield, how it has affected my games, it decreases the amount of poke you take, so your lane presence just increases so much by getting just a Dragon Shield by rushing it. Like Moxie or Minerva, they can't poke you anymore. Negated. So good, man.
So is that the secret to how you face roll everyone? It doesn't come
Again,
down to super skill, it's just the Dragon Shield?
Against casters, mostly, yeah. If you're getting poked, just rush a Dragon Shield and you'll be good.
Nice. And I
Yeah.
guess to like really finalize the, I don't know, is there anything else besides the whole I was trying to be toxic to other players because I was so happy that there was voice chat, but then I figured out it was only party voice chat?
You're trying to talk to them?
Oh, dude,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
because God, there's this person with a chick's name that starts with an L. I don't know. I know it's a sub account of like one of the bigger guys, right? And I was with Majesty, and oh God, we were just talking about that guy who rolled
Like
people's
Majesty.
faces with Ace. Who was it we were just talking about?
Strife
Is that-
Kenny?
Yeah, yes, I was with him, right? And so Charlotte Kenny had Ace. It was going to go solo, but this person was playing Caprice instead. And Kenny's like, "Hey, bro, did you read the patch notes?" No. I just saw there's voice chat. Yeah, it's party chat only. And then you just heard me pick up my keyboard, fling it against the microphone, and back down on the desk, and said, "Fuck you,
Dude.
S2Y."
I
But then I
totally
realized-
feel you, man.
It's a smart
God.
idea, though. I mean, it does kind of hinder the teamwork aspect, right? Because you can only talk with your friends, which we're already in VoIP anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it stops people like me from raging and becoming super toxic. So I don't know.
That's a
what do
good
you
thing,
think
in a
feel
way.
about it? I mean,
Well-
should we keep it that way or open it up?
I honestly don't know because okay, so I'm a Han player. I was a Han player, and I played League for like a month, and I noticed a big difference in the communities. And I don't know if that was because there was VoIP in Han and there wasn't VoIP in League. I feel like that was the big difference because
Yeah.
you can easily call someone like all these names without them even playing bad, just being a troll in general. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's like
I
no
think-
chat log to prove it when you report
Yeah.
somebody. But there's
That-
obviously
exactly,
there's
that's
two sides
exactly.
to it.
Hmm.
There's two sides to it because on the one hand it can tremendously stimulate toxicity because you, like
Yeah.
you said, Ryzen, you can directly call people bad things.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it provides that factor of responsiveness. You know,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
team cohesion. It's when you ping. Sometimes when you're super focused in lane, it's super easy.
Yeah, you don't
to
don't
miss
notice
when
it.
you're
Yeah.
pinging that you're coming for a
Right.
for a gank. But if you're on VoIP, you just say, okay, I'm coming for a gank. Be ready.
Yeah.
And they're not likely to miss that.
And then you hear those
That's
are
the thing,
done.
man. It's a hard decision, like whether or not to add it or not. But I think right now it's fine. As far as like the VoIP and party, that's fine right now. You know, but
Yep,
maybe
party's
they'll add it in
fine.
the future.
That I think that if we see Strife further developing, I think it's a realistic chance that we're gonna be presented with some kind of like option model where you can choose if you want all VoIP enabled for your
Right.
team or disabled, so
Yeah,
that
and
if
you can always
if
mute them in Han too, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you can mute them in the ones that have it.
Yeah,
I just
that's
want the
true.
option that says, "Please, dear God, filter everything that is outside of these IP ranges," and it gives me like country selections, and I can just check mark off Russia and South America, aka Brazil, and then we're good.
Okay. Oh God.
But no, like the one thing that's got me worried, and Ryzen, I know you're gonna have the strongest opinion on this one. The rumors have already started flying about the resets on pets and items and everything.
Ah, yes.
Now, okay, my deal is, why didn't they do it when they introduced matchmaking? Why are they doing it the next patch? If they're doing it next patch.
Yeah, I thought about that too, but I think it's because there is no, well, to my understanding, there's no MMR right now. There's no ranking system. It's just queue with whoever and queue against whoever, you know? So I think that's why, because they want to have a rating system for when everything's ready. At least I think they should.
sad. I worked
Yeah, I think, like Ryan said, they want to make sure the MMR is actually working and proper before they reset
Yes.
everything right now. So
Yes, that would
no
make
point
most
in wiping
sense.
it again
Yeah.
and then
Oh.
having giant
But
pets when it's actually
Are they
working.
gonna wipe out all of our pets or just reset them to level 1? 'Cause
Well,
I don't want to have to like level up a long time and then re-buy luster, like, you know.
Well, from what I understand in general, when games say they're resetting, they reset everything. So I'm pretty sure all our crafting items, all our pets, all our time will be erased. So
Like dust in the wind.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happens during beta.
It is.
Yeah.
But now, did you guys play Heroes of Newerth as well? How many of you guys have been
I
following?
did not.
I did for a long
Nope.
time.
All right, so I guess for this last part of the patch stuff, I'm gonna take it between me and Ryzen. Sorry, guys. Do you think that S2's gonna do it like they did with Han, where it's like, oh, we're gonna keep re-wiping through the beta. It's open beta. We're gonna wipe again. Oops, we made one
I
little mistake here. Let's re-wipe one more time, and then release comes out, and then they had to do a triple wipe. And by the time it's done, we're like
Yeah.
stuck with so many new players. I just wanted, to rip my own heart out of my beating chest or bleeding chest.
I really
Beating
hope
heart.
not, man. I feel like because I'm pretty sure they know S2 made a lot of mistakes when they during Han. It was very successful.
Mistakes
But
were made.
mistakes were definitely made, but they know that, and I feel like in Strife they'll capitalize on those mistakes. They'll do a lot better job, and they're doing a lot better job now. So I think everything will be fine. I really hope they don't
Okay, so
rewipe everything
Yeah,
twice.
they're more experienced now, so I figure with all the backlog or backlash they
Yeah.
had from doing that, they're gonna take that and go, all right, let's just do it nice and easy.
But I think it's interesting that they don't do it, prior to the patch, the wipe, because this will give the option to generate some data on the exact impact
Right.
of the crafted items, the imbalance that brings to the game, because there's been a lot of back and forth and speculation on this, like it's from those extreme opposites where somebody says it's fine, it's a reward that should be there, and the other party says no, it's completely fucking up the game, it's making it totally imbalanced, it's not fair towards new players, and they're gonna have to make decisions to strike a delicate balance between those two. And I think this is actually a pretty neat way to do it. Just gather, because when we first started closed beta, we had no matchmaking whatsoever, so it was pretty much
It was just like
Yeah.
Han.
It was.
and now we're moving towards that matchmaking. And this will give them the chance to gather some extra data so that when they, further improve matchmaking, they can already take that into account. And I kind of like that philosophy.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
continuing on
Yeah, all the kinks.
matchmaking, this is something that piques my interest. How do you see, matchmaking influencing competitive play? Because when it was just games, you could seek out whoever, and now you basically have that choice. Like the system's gonna match you, but you don't know if that match is gonna be correct. And you can no longer lobby hop as I do. I just hop lobby to
Right.
lobby.
Yeah.
I know there's some
Lobby
toxic
hop.
people, so when I see those names popping up, I go like, nope,
Just leave.
out of here. And
Yeah.
What
I had my second game after this patch was immediately a 3v5 with two rage quitters. So it was like, yay, good times.
Well, I don't think it'll affect competitive play too much, maybe indirectly, because people who want to just pick a game can just actually go to this regular matchmaking, go right in. While if someone like Ryzen wants to do a scrim, whatever, post on Reddit, and they can just click that little gray box and just go and scrim in there, away from everybody trying to get into the lobby. Because you guys tried to scrim before, people kept trying to
Yeah.
pop in, and you kick them, they go in again, and you have to kick them again. So
Yeah.
it's easier to put together a scrim. But aside from
That's
that, I don't think it's
true.
going to affect it too much.
Yeah, it's pretty much what Joe said. If we want to, play competitively, we could easily set up a scrim with someone. And also, there's like a bajillion new players in matchmaking. So, when we not scrim, when we queue as 5 or 4, it's just not really no competition at all. It's just new players. So, really not too much effect on the competitive scene right now for matchmaking. But once they add a rating system, I think there will be.
Okay, interesting point of speculation. Supposedly, S2 next patch delivers matchmaking so good it will make your dick rock hard. Suppose that happens.
Boing.
So suppose that happens. How do you see that influencing the current meta? Because there's been an awful lot of debate about if Strife was too snowbally or not. And personally, my opinion is that if matchmaking is executed flawlessly, I think it will only, provide for a longer laning phase, so lengthen that early game a little bit. But then towards mid game and late game, I still think it will retain that same snowballing factor that it has now.
Well, I'm gonna put in the stupid opinion before Ryzen gets in. Dota, Dota, Dota. Dota made a comment. Chinese Gold Farm, then rape at 15 minutes. Go. All right, Ryzen.
Well, yeah, I do think there is a huge snowball effect in this game. When, on my friends list, when I have like okay, decent players, and when they snowball, they become like gods. Like they all of a sudden they kill like the whole team or something like that. They're able to solo like Baldir and shit. So sorry for cussing. But
No,
yeah,
I
I
put
think
the
this.
podcast on. I put the podcast
We're
on
rated
explicit,
mature.
so you can say whatever the hell you want.
Content.
All right. Yeah, I don't think the snowballing effect is too crazy because you can't obviously 1v5. That's not possible in any game. I don't think. But
Yeah, that's what I love about Strife.
Oh.
There's much less room for individual performance. You really need to,
oh, it's much a team game.
play
Very
as a
much
team.
a team game.
Yeah, well,
It's very
I feel
action packed too. It's fast paced.
like a lot of the snowball complaints come from people who like played 3 games. They had completely one-sided stomp. They don't really know what they're doing. So they go, "This is a bullshit snowballing game." But I think with people
Yeah.
like of equal skill fight against each other, and they start knowing what they're doing, they can stop snowballs and keep stopping each other. So
Yeah, exactly.
it won't be too out of control. There's just a large experience gap right now in this game, just because it's
Yeah.
so new.
My honest opinion, without trolling, is that true matchmaking rating, if it's done correctly, and I mean like secondary Han deflate correctly here, it separates the casuals from the top tier. But that's what it does in every game. It does it in Dota, it does it in League, it does it in Han, and snowball will definitely happen while you're rising up the ranks, right? Especially if you're good. But once you get up in
Absolutely.
that top tier, it's going to be a tooth and nail stress, sweat beads on
Yes.
your forehead while still
Yes.
having fun.
You'll hit
With all
You'll hit
stakes on
that
the
ceiling.
line.
Those are the best games.
So
Yes.
competitive is always good. We love you guys. Thank you for not telling us you're keeping it casual. Mwah.
And it has beta key, please. No mango, my friend.
He's got 7 sub accounts. And yes, I've looked at the database, Mango. I know exactly how many you have.
Let's go for 10.
I heard you guys someone mentioned about meta earlier. A lot of what I've been noticing, like 90% of my matchmaking games, they've been sending 2 bottom.
League of Legends!
God, I'm just like league, and then 1 top. I'm just like league players.
I'm seriously thinking about like hotkeying. I have this keyboard with the hotkeys where you can actually make entire sentences as macro, and I'm seriously considering macroing a sentence that says, "Hey buddies, listen. You see that thing up there that's called Baldir? That's why bot lane is the solo lane here, because we want 2 people present at all times when Baldir is near."
Gotta
And
school
public
the young
service
bloods.
announcement.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time
but-
you tell them, they're like, "Okay, thanks for telling me," but sometimes you just get one of those guys.
Yeah, that just doesn't want to
I've gotten
cooperate.
plenty of those guys.
Oh God. Ruins your day.
That's the frustrating thing about being in the beta is, every time a new key wave is released, you see all those new toxic players coming in, and they have to be, they have to adjust a little bit. Just kind of like. Yeah, go.
No, I'll just say it's an ocean of empowered bracers and recommended items. It's horrible.
So many empowered bracers. Although I will say that the legendary effect on empowered bracer is quite good, where it gives you power up upon how much health you have.
Okay, new.
I thought
this-
I thought it was the way around. The more power you had gave you health.
Is that what it
No,
was?
but
I thought it was the other way around.
Let's go Mythbusters on this shit.
Oh.
Okay.
I hear everybody say that Empowered Bracer is bad. Now here's your chance to tell the world why Empowered Bracer is bad. I mean, I bought it a couple of games. I wasn't really let down, but everybody was raging like, "No, don't buy Empowered Bracer. It's so bad. Oh my god. Oh my god."
Well,
the
which
prob-
hero are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
Any
what was
hero
that?
or just in general? Like
Any
which hero
hero
you're talking about?
or specifically
Just,
It's,
just in
Power
general.
Racer?
I bought it in Ace. I bought it on Ace once or twice.
It's bad.
Yeah, well, the way I see it is
Why?
it
Don't
gives you
shout
no,
it's bad. I mean, come on. We
it
can all
gives
say
you-
it's bad.
It gives you no utility, and the health and power it gives you is just not enough in either department to really make it worthwhile. Like, imagine a 3-foot plank of wood going through a wood chipper. It doesn't matter if the plank of wood is 3.5 feet or whatever, it still goes through the wood chipper just as fast. So I don't think it gives you the health or power that you really need to basically make an impact over something like a healing rod or a demon fang or something like that.
So basically, the lack of utility makes it bad because you have to, throw too much gold at it. That's basically
How,
what
how much
I'm
is
from
it?
this.
Costs
Not
like
just
700, right?
No, it's like 1,300.
Oh, let's see, yeah, 1300 for like 7 power, or how
Some
much does it
power
give?
at 170 health. It's
It's
why
not.
bother?
It's not worth it. I mean, I will say that if you do combine the legendary effect with like other legendary items, it probably would be effective. Like a Giant's Visage combined with an Empowered Bracer, I feel it'd be really strong. But I don't know. It's really stretching. Just buying 1300 for that little bit of an increase.
Yeah, there you go. New York John, 7 power,
Yeah.
110 health for 1450. Who wants to
That's
buy that?
not worth it.
I mean,
I think you could just buy like the components, and it'd be more than that. I don't know.
Yep, you totally can do that. Or buy a fell blade. There's their power.
I would do my Fellblade with my attack gloves and I have it all purpled out. So I don't think I should talk about any items ever.
Stop talking about items, Wings.
Yeah,
It
it's
gives me
it's-
an extra 20 power plus
It's
an
not
extra
cost
8%.
efficient. Not cost efficient at all.
If it goes down in price or up in power or health, I think you're definitely worth it. But as
Yeah,
of right now,
sure.
eh.
Giant,
Oh,
Giant's
Giant's
Visage.
Yes, Ryzen, please give us the insight on what you feel about the Giant's Visage, since it's been out here for a couple of weeks, and some of us have kind of used it, but even me, I'm not even sure if it's worth it on Ace and Hail to even have this item, or maybe even Vex. What do you feel about it? Who is it actually good on, and when should you get it or not?
I think it's amazing on Minerva. So the normal Minerva build is probably the Wobby build, where he gets Tortoise Healing Rod, which is like the most OP thing I've ever seen in my life. You heal for all your health in the beginning of the game. He goes Shiv, Dragon Shield, Inferno Brand into Giant's Visage. You cannot kill him. Cannot kill him. It's just a really good.
Yeah.
Makes him tanky and does a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think it's good on, whatever you said, because her shield is based on her health too, so having her
Yes.
just full of health is amazing. And
Mhm.
as the chat says, Bastion too, because his shield is based
Yeah,
on his
Bastion.
health.
Definitely
Right.
Bastion.
And once in
Yeah.
a while, I will pick it up on Bow just to go full tank and just be more relevant towards the end,
Yeah.
where Bow Rush and all that's great. So it has its place for tanks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
but
exactly.
that kinda
I would
depends
say it's like a must on tanks because it gives you damage and survivability. I don't see why not.
I wouldn't say a fourth item. I'd say like fifth item. People get like it's their first item. That's a no. You don't have enough health to
No, no,
really
no.
justify it.
First item should always be like a Shiv or Dampening Cloak or Captain's Crest. One of those three.
First
Or
item, Spring
Demon
Boots.
Fang.
First item, Blood Pendant.
No, first item, GG
Legendary Blood Pendant.
GG
Yeah, Captain's Crest is really good.
Yeah, it's a really good item. The legendary is so good too for pushing. Increases attack speed.
Only 8%, but it does so much.
Does a lot, yeah. And I believe you can stack it just like Inferno Brand.
I haven't tried that out, but maybe. Maybe it's hysterical to have 5 of those and see the creeps attack really fast.
Traveling back a bit with that item barrage. Let's there was a discussion going on Reddit a little while ago regarding the diminishing effects of power relating to your effective hit points. What's your take on that, guys?
I could care less, and everyone knows me. I play crazy balls to the walls with about, straight base 1000 HP and as close
My
to
man.
500 power as I can get.
I don't quite get the post. Like against Dragon Shields, is
Like,
that what effective health?
No, like what they're talking about is when does buying items or crafting custom items with a ton of power, when do you know that you're starting to have diminishing return on it because your health is so low that people can just
Oh.
waylay you across the map?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I
They
think it
can do
totally
their
depends
thing.
on playstyle.
I think it
Like,
depends
if you're-
upon
if-
skill
if-
level.
Yeah, like skill level and playstyle. Like I said, if you're like Wings and go all power, you'll get kills, but you'll also get killed.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you're Carter, though, you can be full like Stixer does. He does like full-on power and can
Yeah.
just easily melt anybody. And if you want to get like Spring Boots, whatever, for survivability, I think it's absolutely fine.
Hmm.
I don't think it has diminishing returns. It depends what you want for your character.
Yeah, this game is very customizable, which is one of the reasons why I love playing it. So it really just depends on who you are as a player.
But as far as
Yeah, I have
finding
that,
a true balance between defense and offense, like, what do you guys think about that? How hard is it to find that perfect balance where you benefit your team the most?
I don't think it's too hard because there's very few heroes and items in the game. So like because like for Bo, for example, he does a lot of damage and can still be tanky at the same time. So I don't think it's that hard to find a good medium in
Not.
between.
Yeah, and even the items themselves are like kind of very specialized. There's one vampiric item, there's one slowing item, so you'll
Yeah.
find a place for them soon enough. And you're like Vermilion, you're not going to be like the head of the fight, or whatever. So you know exactly where you want to be.
I am waiting on Thornmail though.
soon.
I want Thornmail.
Yeah, that's the item I really miss as well.
Yeah. Have Carter kill himself or something.
We are great commentators, Code More.
I would say Wings is MVP for voices though.
Ah, thank you.
You could do voiceovers for Disney, man. You can make hella money off that.
Do voiceovers for wargaming, actually.
Oh, do you? There you go.
Yes, the Russians.
He also has a
Weren't
cool
you
microphone
subbing
to
for
talk
like
into.
Bane in the Batman movie?
Oh, yes. One does not simply just sub in for the legendary Englishman.
Oh my god.
One does it with white valor.
You just played my boys, but I was crafted by them.
That's too good, man.
Molded by you.
That's too good. It's fucking golden, man.
Oh, I saw this coming up in the chat. There's gonna be this Strife talk after matches. We do those where the panel members play 1 or 2 games. You know, like after Strife talk.
And we
With,
have
with the
Rising
viewers.
Carriers.
So yeah.
My friends are probably gonna snipe us.
You guys can see Battle Moxie.
Battle Moxie sounds good. Oh, is it gonna be like a troll game? I'm down for that.
I'm totally for
I
that.
promise this time I'll troll, Joe.
I wish we did. I did a match before called with Tinder Teaches Typing, which has nothing but activated abilities. It was fantastic.
Oh god, that sounds good.
Oh, and then here,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna make Vexxie hate me because I'm gonna totally derail the Strife talk from what he had planned, and ask you guys your personal opinions because this is going to happen, and this is my official announcement on it. We're having a Strife League startup, just much like Starladder and things like that for Dota 2, but Strife, and it starts in 2 weeks. How do you guys feel about that?
Yay!
It's good to have a competitive scene. Like
Yeah,
a legitimate,
way
full-on
excited.
competitive scene.
I
Oh
think
my
this
God.
will be this will prove like an answer to all those people who keep complaining that the game is too kiddie and the game is too casual.
Yeah.
We talked about this in episode 1. The way the map is designed and how much emphasis there is on team play and how they looked at making support have a completely different role in the team. I think that doesn't invalidate that it's a competitive game. I think it makes it way more interesting, and I think that people are just kind of like scared of that change. They see those things like pets popping up, and they go like, "What the fuck? This isn't World of Warcraft." But if you really think about it, boil it back down to basics, it's a rather fine element that rewards players who actually invest time in this game, invest time in understanding the game better, because you can bring pets into your battle to complement your playstyle. Like for example, Bo. Let's take Bo. Now you guys talked about Bo as a tank, but we know that Straw Hat Kenny plays him as a
Damage
burst
dealer.
damage
Power
dealer.
dude.
Yeah. So that means that for those 2 roles, you can both enroll a different pet into your games, and that's something that I really like. And I think once people really start fully utilizing that will make the competitive scene very interesting to watch. And one of the examples I like to relate to this is coming back to League of Legends is when Cassiopeia first came out. When you would pick her in solo queue, people would just laugh at you. They'd laugh at your face and be like, "You trolling?" And then it was like I think it was Reggie from TSM, I think, who figured out how to properly play her. And then all of a sudden, she got like really popular, and people started picking her like crazy. And I think that's something that's a trend we're gonna see with pets and crafted items. Like when we
Oh,
have
for sure.
established pro
Yeah.
teams like Ryzen TM with his specialized Ryzen TM pet crafted item combo. We're gonna see
Okay.
everybody in the game rushing that, and we're gonna have like a chat channel that's called Be Like Ryzen.
No, they're not gonna do that. You don't want to be like me. I'm
we-
too.
And how many
I'm too
actual
brown.
competitive teams do we have, Ryzen? Do we actually have 6, or do we only have like 3 or 4?
3 come to mind that are like always there in the
Yeah,
tournaments.
there's you, Illuminati, Vex Gaming.
Yeah, that's only 3 I could think of.
Oh, I guess it's gonna be
and,
3.
There's maybe
Vex
the
is back
Denial
together.
guys.
Well, it's invite
Skywalker
only.
Gaming.
So
Skywalker Gaming, but they're gay.
it's invite only round robin. Be a business. But enough of that. And now for something completely different. Vex does a handstand.
Oh, I did want to mention something about the patch. Are the AD items that got increased? The Frost Prism and the
Crushing Mace.
Crushing Mace. Yeah, I actually tested them out, and they're quite good now. They do substantially more damage as a Rook player, like additively, because Rook has like 300 million attack speed. Really strong.
Actually, Rose, I wanted to ask you. I've seen Rooks take Mystic Dagger. Do you think that's wise?
Oh,
There you go.
you-
No.
Yeah, I kind of
Fang.
like, Crushing
Do
Mace,
it.
what they did with it. But it's like one of those, this is one of those small tweaks that make an item a much more viable choice. And if we look at the patch overall, it's full of these slight tweaks, not like, throw everything out the window or buff or nerf it straight to hell. There's
Not a
a
League of Legends
proper
patch.
reasoning to it. Like, for example, Cleric Chalice. What do you guys think about Cleric Chalice?
I think
It's a
it's
cool
the best 1v2 item. 1v2 item.
There you go. But no, it's
What,
just a
what
good item.
hero
Just
are
want
you
to
most
stay alive.
likely to build Cleric Chalice on?
Well, I've seen it on Tinders, Moxies, and Minervas. People can spam their spells
That's just about right.
quite well.
3 heroes.
No Carter?
No,
No,
you
because
want to
he
go
always
YOLO
uses the-
power on Carter. That's the only build.
yeah,
YOLO
because with
power.
him, you're always gonna be in the back. So you're either really dead or really not.
Yeah.
So
I've also seen
One of the
some
things
tank Carter builds.
yes, that's Tabao doing that. I made him do that. Armor Carter.
One of the things I think isn't quite there yet is Frost Prism. I think they're on the right track with it, but it just doesn't feel, like quite right.
Yeah, it's
Well-
definitely not a must, but I think it's stronger than it was before, obviously. It's not
It's
a
great.
must, though.
I think it's a great chasing tool, but you really can't kite with it. Like with Vermilion, if you're trying to kite with it, you're not really gonna get that distance you really need. You'll probably still be dead. But it's good for someone like Hale, who can basically force you to run away, but you can't run away. So I think it's in an okay spot.
Definitely not a must, but it's good in some cases.
I usually get
I
it on
like
Vermilion,
it
like
when
towards
it's
the end.
crafted, but
It's crafted, it's
not as
amazing.
is. Yeah.
Gives you like what, 10 movement speed, something like that? Really strong.
Now, one of
Anything
the
else,
things,
big boy?
I also see in the patch note is in the patch notes is the throwing axe, that they increased the creep damage to 15% from 10%. Do you think S2
Yay!
is like willily trying to make jungling more viable?
Probably.
Yeah, that's the whole plan. They wanted to make it viable, but not mandatory. So buffing
Yes.
the jungle as it is, maybe give more players like Ace or Vex, whatever, a chance to jungle more
all you
effectively.
do is give it a little bit of a buff, and then it does become mandatory. Am I right, Ryzen?
Well, for matchmaking right now, jungling is very easy just because no one knows the meta, but I feel like in higher tier, jungling is going to be equally as hard as other games. If they know you're jungling, they're going to gank you. I don't know. It's not mandatory right now, definitely, because there's only hail. That does it effectively.
Okay. But yeah, since we started talking about the jungler, is it more effective to really gank that jungler, or is it more effective to do the 2-2-1 except move the 1 into the mid, so a 2-1-2, and you have those outside lanes put in the hard pressure, collapse down the tier 1 towers, put pressure on the tier 2, then go back to mid and flood it out that way, while that jungler is going around just trying to keep back up?
A run-on question, eh?
Yeah, super run-on
Yeah,
question.
this is actually quite nice because this ties into the tip of the week. The tip of the week is where we ask the viewers a question. They mail in the answers and we go over it as a segment. And the one with the best answer wins a
God.
Speedy Key. Hooray! Now there was this
Unless
guy.
you're Blue Mango.
I agree.
There was this. Wait, what?
Unless you're Blue Mango.
Unless you're Blue Mango. There was
He's
this guy
won
with.
13 keys so far.
Well, then he's obviously doing something better than the rest. Am I right?
He's right. Oh lordy.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
typing
loud.
it in faster.
But no. Back to what you were saying, Vexxie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Gotta take the shots.
So coming back. Coming back to the tip of the week, it's where we ask a question each week, and then people mail the answer. We go over it. We pick the best one. That guy or girl gets a beta key, and we kind of make like a discussion item out of it. Now, the question this week was how to effectively shut down a jungler. It's a question that applies to all MOBAs. It's a generic question, so that people who are not in the game can actually win a closed beta key. And we did a little pre-discussion on this, and Wings was just about to spin that off, but he had a really good
Almost.
take on it.
Try not to give everything
Go
away.
on.
Did you want to give my opinion on it, or wait for someone to answer
No,
it?
this is
No,
the part
we're-
where Wings goes do his thing, like his explanation
Okay.
thing.
The explanation of the answer.
How to shut down a jungler.
How to
No,
shut
like-
down
yeah.
a jungler. So, yeah, basically, my opinion on it does currently follow on with the actual answer that was given, though I will admit that I honestly am just now looking at the answer for the first time because I had my own opinion on it. But my opinion is, let's say we have Jay-Zoo in the jungle. I mean, he's the first guy. Whenever you say jungler, he like hops on it. Like,
Yeah.
a fat kid on that donut. He hops in that jungle with Hail. Now, that puts the enemy team in a very awkward position because within the jungle, your jungler can actually get upwards of he starts off at 350 GPM around the 4-minute mark. If he's doing it right, he sits at about 425.
Yes.
He can get up to 500, right, Ryzen?
Yes, very very early 500, yeah. And
Yeah.
with a chest camper too, more than that, most likely.
Now, if we choose to send in people to gank him and push him down, even if they're able to take him out effectively, right? Even within the 2 to 3 minute mark, they're losing the creep wave experience, they're losing the gold from the creep wave, and a
Yep.
lot of presence there that puts their tower under siege. So, going and ganking, while it may sound like it's worth it, you're losing experience and you're only getting 50 gold per kill with, a 32 assist? I think that's what it is. It's something like that. It's really low. So, wouldn't it make more sense, instead of trying to have someone counter jungle against that experienced jungler and everything else, to make it the old Dota style meta where you have the 2 top, 2 bottom, since you're normally going to have, especially with that jungle, right, your duel's going to be in the mid and you're going to have singles on the sides. Have them collapse on those guys, push them, knock down the tower to get the entire team extra gold and experience, and then collapse on the mid and start pushing it hard instead of trying to shut down the jungler, because that way, as a team, by 8 minutes, everyone on the team should be sitting close to the 600 GPM. They'll stay with the
Yeah.
jungle and they'll have the same levels, while the other members of the enemy team are just like, "Oh, we're getting dressed, Jay-Zoo, help!" And he's like, "Oh, please, I gotta get that treatment for the Loch Ness monster." So, what's the most effective thing to do?
I would agree with you 100%. Even Gulliver agrees, and Gulliver is really well knows how to play MOBAs. So yes, you do push the lanes as fast as possible. Even though he's gonna get his free farm, he's not gonna farm as fast as you guys if you get towers.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And
also you
especially
get map
the thing-
control.
Yeah, and also, once you hit that level where you can do your full skill rotation, it's gonna become very noticeable for the jungler that that you kind of like have that upper hand in the gold and upper hand in the experience, because he's gonna come out under itemed. And I agree that it really hurts your team if you step into the jungle and try to hunt him down. It's much more effective, especially given the size of the map of Strife, that you just push as hard as you can, because you're more likely to get like the tier 1 tower, and gain, start that little snowballing, as opposed to the jungler. As opposed to the jungler gaining the upper hand by farming uninterrupted in the jungle.
Mm.
Unless the jungler is one hell of a ganker that can like one-shot people. to
Oh,
death.
that's another thing. I think Minerva is viable for jungle as well as a ganker though. Like Hale to me
I've
seems like
seen
the
it.
AFK Legionnaire jungler, where Minerva seems like the parasite ganking everyone in
The
every lane
hilarity
gun
that you
jungle.
said Legionnaire and Ace is absolutely garbage in the jungle right now.
I have seen it work for him. Panthera showed me Ace Jungle, and he worked out okay. Because he has the
It's
level
okay. Yeah, it's
He can
okay.
gank at level 2. Like, Hale needs level 6 to be able to make a pull off like the best gank possible. Minerva, like level 1, level
Level
2,
one,
can
level
also go
two,
in.
yeah.
What
And
about
I
that
think
Tinder
Vex...
jungle?
Oh, absolutely, man. Why don't you just pick
Tinder
that? Like,
jungle's
number one
good.
pick.
Tinder jungle's good.
I was thinking that or Vex. I'm thinking Vex would probably work on the jungle as well. So he can be anywhere at any point. But at the same time, he needs level 6.
Yeah.
But I think once he does hit level 6, he can have a very easy time just jumping at everybody.
I think Vex with TP boosts is amazing. We'll always have
Exactly.
map control.
With highest cooldown reduction, be everywhere, anywhere.
Oh man, and keep Vorba Seekers up.
Yeah, you can.
God.
It's possible to build. It's hysterical. You need a lot of mana,
Yeah, I
but
saw
it's
that in
funny.
your stream. I was like, he's always casting missiles. Why is
Yeah,
this?
that was Majesty. He was doing that. He went like Diadem, all the cooldown stuff. Oh, it was fantastic.
But yeah, that. Do we have the name of the winner for the Reddit one? You just gave us like the overview of the answers.
Yeah, we had a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh,
No.
we're under NDA with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
No.
user. You will be notified
Yeah.
via Reddit, or we will
Yeah, it
actually
will be
ship the
cool.
key to your house inside of a pie. You'll have to dig through it, and the pie will be filled with needles. Thank you.
Pie sounds good. Some pie.
A needle pie.
Well, there wasn't a you know like a player name or a Reddit name or something. So I'm gonna email the dude back.
Anonymous.
But for
It was anonymous.
his no,
Anonymous, you have won.
it's Zayed Mohammed Eid.
Very nice.
$5.
Yeah,
He's in
aight.
Syria fighting the war right now.
Yeah, Strife Talk episode 4. Eid. Episode title. No.
There is a hay in this needle stack pie.
I'm gonna have to stream this e-cigarette cup thing, man. I'm sorry, but it's mesmerizing me.
Then mesmerize
Oh.
the public.
I should proudly mention it's been 8 months since my last cigarette.
Hell
I
yeah,
use an
man.
e-cigarette, man.
Yeah.
I had
It's
never
been-
smoked except for a cigar.
It's been
Good.
47 minutes since my actual last real cigarette.
Nice. Almost.
I know, right?
Almost there.
So you smoke fake cigarettes in between?
I use my e-cigarette, but
Clay
then I
cig-
get
oh,
too
the-
stressed out, and then I smoke a regular cigarette because I need
Clay
the actual
cigarettes.
hearing of the. I need to hear the paper crackling. Is what mine is. Like I don't even have to smoke it. I can just keep it lit as long as I can hear that paper burning. I'm fine. But
Should get a
why let it
fireplace
burn
there.
if I can
addiction.
inhale it? Been doing it for over 8 years, man. I'll be 9 years in a month.
Am I quitting anytime
Congratulations.
soon, or?
Trying,
Yeah,
man. That's why I got the
moment.
e-cig, right?
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah. That's true.
But yeah. So Vexxie,
Yo yo.
how do you like the UI changes that have been brought in? Like, I know this is
Oh,
not something we
man.
normally would care about, but the visual changes this patch.
Man, that was
Amazing.
It was just stunning. When I opened up the client, when you get that hero select, I didn't really care all that much for that, because you have kind of like these. It's kind of like these tiles they laid on. It looks kind of tacky, but that's my personal opinion. I'd rather see that, like flattened and glossy. That's kind of what I like. But when we look at, the in-game interface, when you're actually playing the game, it looks so much more clean and so much more informative. Even though it's the same information, it's just it's visually less distracting.
It's
cool,
so
man.
sleek.
It definitely looks cooler.
It went from old and busted to new hotness. Oh yeah.
I also like all the new voices. The one voice I don't care for now is Moxie's death noise, because I feel bad about killing Moxie now.
What does it sound like?
It's like a cat growling or whatever. I feel terrible, like killing
Oh,
a poor
God.
animal.
It's like you took the cat and duct taped its tail to the ceiling fan to turn it on.
Yeah, it's something like that. I feel terrible, but I like all the new voices, like Caprice's, Rook's.
Minerva's is pretty cool too. Sounds like a robot chick.
Yeah, but they took her taunt away. She can't taunt no more. She just kind of
Oh, that sucks.
waves. That'll be fixed later on, though. And you can see Melody's lightning bolt finally.
Oh yeah, the
Ew.
Bedlam Bolt flying.
Yep, there's a Wind Rush one. I think Everwinter Charm is a little updated. I think even Ace's Axis Spin got a little updated. It seems darker.
Oh,
Unless it's
and
just me.
I like
and the sprites that they have for the obelisk whenever you actually take them now.
Yeah, and Rook.
Oh, yeah. And Rook.
Man, so much good stuff.
Yeah, I would agree. I definitely I like this patch a lot.
And all this like really early stuff, so I'm waiting to see what they have in the future, too. They said
It's like,
they
thanks
wanted
for the
to-
matchmaking, but we really like the visual stuff better. KK, thanks, bye.
Yeah, go hire
They
a
also
bunch of
mentioned like a...
graphics designer and fix the shit. Fix the really annoying bugs. Fix those later. It's
They also
cool.
mentioned like
As long as it looks
more
pretty.
voices. No, they also mentioned more voices for like we don't need to ping a tower. They want to put voices in for that. So if you're Ace and you ping a tower, he goes like get that tower or something like that. So they're adding in more voices.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's some voices. I remember Bane was telling me Ray says stuff when he gets creep kills, like over 10. He says something like, "I will mine the forest" or some shit like that.
Strife Talk episode 28. We forgot about the in-game meta, but all the sounds are here.
Yeah. I think this is the
Oh,
most
yeah,
messy episode we ever did. Like there was so much stuff to go over, and everybody likes something. So we're like these hyped up toddlers left
At
unattended
least-
with a bunch of Coca-Cola, and we're all like,
Once we go
yeah,
over
this is
the
good,
important
and that is good,
Those
and this is
Kids
good.
doing the crazy Coca-Cola times.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait until they put Shadow in, and then you're gonna hear me give a whole long spiel about that.
Shadow from Final Fantasy VI. Cool.
Yeah.
Shadow from Sonic, cool.
I know. Oh, know what? We shouldn't talk about this. We're gonna cut this part out probably, but I gotta say it anyways. All right, so he's got two guns, which are two sniper rifles. Yet we already have
There's a
we already
Reddit
have
post
million
about
in
it.
here.
Yeah, there's a post about it already.
Oh yeah, there's a post. Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm not
like,
really
the
talking
guy,
about something
the
we
guy
can't.
says like
The picture and
he-
everything.
They got like an S2 employee, like one of the designers said that he's already been changed a lot. Like it's barely even the final decision, and
Yeah,
he's not.
but I
He
mean-
might not be the first to go out the window or out the door.
Yeah, but
So
I'm just saying, man. If you give him two sniper rifles when you already have Vermilion there, Jackie Chan face. Why?
I imagine like they're both
Yeah.
long range, but like maybe one is more survivable, he's more tankish, and he has more disable, or something like that. That's my guess.
Maybe.
Like one of the moves he had was an AOE double splash thing, and maybe that applies to something. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna have to rework Vermilion's like range increase because you can't give someone sniper rifles without a range increase, and you can't have two people with a super range increase like that because then you go WTF question mark exclamation point. I don't know. It makes me worry.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you had a
Maybe
rocket
he'll be-
launcher, then we'd be fine. But then people would scream Tristana with a beard. So I don't know.
I think it's a bit too early to discuss this because it's probably changed by now. The guy even said it's already changed.
Yeah.
So
maybe
Yeah.
he'll be a caster. They just want
Perhaps.
to put guns on him.
We should
I think at
make
least
one
it's
after
cool
ourselves.
to see that they're investing in new heroes
Oh, yes, of
during the
course.
beta. Because right now,
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting to reach that point where you kind of feel like familiar with, you have your favorites and you have the ones that you rather stay away from, and it's cool to see some new variety add to that.
Speaking on that, how do you guys feel, since we have the widest opinion here, how do you feel about them still announcing that they're going to keep a small, compact player pool? Like, honestly, all meta and crap aside, personally, how do you guys feel about that?
I think they need as many players as possible.
yeah, well, they're gonna test it out this weekend with the open thing. See if there's
next weekend.
servers. Yeah, if the servers can actually handle many people. If that goes
No,
well,
I mean
I'll-
hero pool. Champion.
hero
Oh,
pool?
hero pool.
I am completely fine with a smaller hero pool.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yes, please,
Like-
S2, if you're listening, don't go overboard. Don't go
Yes.
League of Legends.
Yeah, I
You
mean-
don't want to
new
make a hero
champion
every
each
week.
month.
It'll mess the game up.
Yeah, like League of Legends did like a hero every month, and there was so many imbalances, and everyone had to readjust to that, and so
Yeah,
I
to get
think they only
in.
said though that they're only going to add in like 3 more. That's what I'm talking about. Like how small is too small and how big is too big.
Obviously, now is too small for the finish. Like
Yeah.
I'd say maybe in this
25
year,
tops.
maybe. Yeah, in this
I
year,
was thinking
25 would
25
be
to 30.
great. 25 would be great for this year at least.
Yeah, and too big is what they have now with every MOBA was like 100 characters to learn all their abilities, all their effects, and all their item
Well, if you're in
builds.
love with the MOBA, you figure it out really quickly. I know Ryzen can attest to that with Han, and I can attest to it with Dota, and even you, Tintin. How many of the
Uh-huh.
league champions do you know?
Let me count. Hold on a second here. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of heroes. I stopped
Yeah, but see,
playing
that's
when
what I'm
Atrox
saying,
came
though.
out.
So that's what I'm saying, though. If you love the MOBA, you learn all the heroes very quickly. It's
You
just a
don't love the
daunting
heroes.
thing to new players.
Yeah, it's just very frustrating, especially something like Dota, where it's all those complex mechanics. To learn all those mechanics, all the items, all the heroes, all the builds, all our builds, positioning, all the meta. So
Oh,
it takes a while.
Then
Then
it
you have to learn
changes
who-
every week.
Who gets the courier? Who should use the courier? What's bottle crowing? All that stuff. So I think the less heroes, the easier it is for people to access. That's why League is so popular, because it's not as complicated as Dota.
I still find League more complicated than Dota. I don't get those room pages and crap.
Well,
No
that's
offense to
not
League
really
players,
it,
it's
but,
just
you know,
confusing.
The
like
vast
pets.
amount of heroes just makes it so hard to keep up, man.
That-
I think
that's
the
probably true.
ideal amount would be somewhere between, you know, like a maximum of 25, where you have 5 for each role. You have 5 teammates, so 5 roles, and then you have like 5 varieties on those roles, 5 different flavors. And I think the minimum should be like 3 flavors per role. So then you have like 15. So then you have like 15 heroes, you know. So
And
anywhere
the-
from 15 to 25, and that be it. Then just be done, and then just whoever makes the heroes at S2, take them apart, sit them in the cafeteria, say, hey man, you're gonna do like design sketches right now, but we're not gonna build anything. This is it. This is done. We love you. Come get a hug, but you're done now.
And here's some
then-
chicken nuggets.
Put out 50 skins. 50 different skins for each one. Each skin more detailed than the last, and make them cost more money. Because you know what? If you have 50 skins, it may sound like a lot of skins, but that gives people a huge variety, and they will spend all their money on those skins if they're really good. Just throwing that out
Remember
there.
Pulsefire
All the
Ezreal?
skins. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I that was the first time League of Legends actually made me chuck money at the game, because that shit was off the hook.
Pulse Ezreal?
Pulsefire Ezreal.
In-
like,
in
Pulse
retrospect-
by Ezreal is so cool, man.
In retrospect, hey, Ryzen, remember in Han, Grandfather Kronos? If enough
Yeah.
people buy this, we add in the extra spinning cogs. 10,000 more people bought the skin the next day.
Yeah. I bought that skin just because it had a better attack animation. Just 'cause
Yeah,
I'm a
and
nerd-
then they
I'm a
made it
nerd
even
like
more
that.
badass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing they should think about. Make a skin that's kind of badass, and then say if X number of people buy the skin, we'll make it even more badass. Because you know what, people will do that.
Well, if
Yeah,
they've done it
people
before,
would.
they'll do it again.
Thresh.
Thresh.
Oh, Thresh.
I will say I'm awaiting on the first hook hero in this game. That's probably
Well,
the
it's Tinder. Here's your hook hero.
well, like you know, kind of
Not
like
a true hook, but
like a blitzcrank or a devourer kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
I don't really know if I want it because I spent 600 hours of my life probably yelling at people that I thought were stupid because they didn't know how to hook right, or they hooked their teammate instead, or they messed it up. Tinders is already frustrating enough whenever you're playing her and you hook the creeps instead, right? But thank God it doesn't hit your allies. Otherwise, I would rage quit out of so many games.
Yeah, and it got buffed too.
Yeah. Gauntlet. Oh, dude, we had Gauntlet in Strife. Think about it, guys.
The hell's the gauntlet?
Gauntlet is a hero in Heroes of New Earth that his first gauntlet sends out an AoE wave. The second one, depending upon how you activate it, it will pull the enemy to you or you to your enemy, which then allows you to buff up your AoE gauntlet again, smack them down, and then the ultimate is Falcon Punch! Basically.
Well, all right then.
But the problem with Gauntlet is if you don't know what you're doing, you pull yourself into the middle of a 5-person team fight and get, pooped on all over the place.
But I think with like a true hook hero, since Vision's not that great in the game, it'd be much easier to basically hook people. Like imagine Dota 2 with no wards, how easy it would be to be Pudge and just hook people.
I know that's another thing that scares me if you put in a hook hero. Like, what are we going to do about Vision?
Well,
Limit the range of the
one thing-
hook to make it not feasible?
Well, I think that, with the observatories that we have in Strife, I think not many people are currently utilizing them. The 3 games I did today, everybody was like, yeah, let's rush Sindara with the enemy really close and like not even bothering to take those few extra steps to activate the ward. And,
Yeah.
Newsflash,
Very crucial.
we lost Sindara every time because they were just waiting.
Yes, they are very
Okay,
crucial.
gank, team wipe.
On those, on the observatories, all right, I don't know if it's just me, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I've noticed there is one supremely valuable observatory out of all 4, and that is the one that is in the bottom left-hand side by that Sindara pit. Is it just me, or does it really feel like it gives you a lot more vision than the rest? Like, because you can see up above that creep camp and where guys were normally rotating in, right? An enemy team, in order to be quote-unquote undetected, they have to rotate in from the bottom lane or the mid lane, and that ward, right? That obelisk right there covers both of them because, like, Baldir goes down so quick, it's kind of negligible to have those. And then if you grab the one on the opposite side, it only matters if they're, like, pushing the bottom lane way up to the base, right? So...
Yeah, I would say that probably is the most crucial observatory out of all of them. The bottom right one.
bottom...
It's very important. The one
Bottom left.
Yeah. Well, the Sindara pit.
Yeah,
Under
well,
that.
either one of the Sindara pits, I guess, is the most important one. Yeah, because I was
That one's
only
very
thinking
crucial.
from Valor's side of view. Whoops.
Yeah, from Valor's side, but those are indeed, I find those the most valuable. And it's amazing how few people actually think about, picking those up before rushing into Sindara.
Yeah. You need to
But
get those.
What I'd like to see more is not just the Observer Wars to give you vision, but also more abilities. Like if I fire the cheese shot as Vermilion into a bush, I should be able to see at least briefly. I know Moxie's ball kind of does that, or Carter's rockets, but I'd like to see more abilities do. Like if I hook into the bush as Tinder, I don't see nothing. So if I did hook a guy, I don't know.
That's true. I think they should add more vision with skills with that. Because I know Rook's Q is vision in bushes. I don't know about Vermilion's Q. I don't think it does.
No,
Increase
it doesn't
Sightstone to
It
5,000.
doesn't, yeah. I would agree with that.
Interesting thing that Blue Mango said, though. He said, can we expect mid-wars?
I think so.
You
I
guys-
mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the
that's
game
the
is
trademark
all
S too.
it's still young, but as time goes on, like as the game, either after it's finished or as it's finishing, they'll be putting in new game modes. Why not?
Definitely not a priority, but I would assume it'll come later.
Is it just me that's burnt out on mid wars and ARAMs? 'Cause I don't care about that
I think
anymore.
it's something you do when it's like 3 in the morning. You're like, I don't want to play for real. I just want to bulk people all day.
I turn on bot games and farm up.
Oh.
I mean, oh, whoops! I don't do that.
I have tried a Rams in the game. It doesn't work out too well because the other creep waves just kind of push a little bit too hard. They
We
push
did
all the
try
way
and-
to your crux.
We did try an ARAM, and it is pretty fun. Oh, good at it.
Yeah, it definitely is. I like it a lot. It's got to solve the
And-
creep problem.
Tinder does show it hooked. The plant stays under you, but it doesn't reveal as it pulls.
Yeah, there's
them in.
that. I wanted like real vision, like you actually see the characters walking in the bush, not just your plant staying there.
That is a good point, and why John said about Seer's Eye. I do think that's one of the most underrated items in this game, especially the legendary effect. It's an AoE slow. Very
Yeah, I
strong
like
item.
Seer's Eye,
Yes,
but
it's good.
you need a.
It does
It's one of those
cost a little
ones
much,
that needs.
though.
It's one of those ones you need to build custom, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, what
It's
is the
pretty-
legendary
it's
at
pretty
Seer's Eye?
expensive. AoE slow? Like,
Really? We're just
yeah.
giving the old stink eye?
Yeah. Whoever's in it gets slowed. Gets hit by
Yeah,
it.
that is pretty good. And also, is it global or like only next to you? Is it AoE targeted area or is it like global like clairvoyance is?
I have no idea because I've never been on
AoE targeted area. where you're revealing, that's where it slows.
So, like, clairvoyance everywhere? Oh, wow. I think it's a really strong item then.
Ryzen, check the GameFox chat.
Hey.
Hi.
Not Ryzen per se. Like Wings.
Alright. So, I guess this is something they do every Strife Talk is they ask a question of the week. And question of the week for this week will be, who's the best solo bot hero? And I'm guessing next week you guys are going to announce the winner and they get a key.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
not all of you can write to your mom.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this will be posted on
this
Reddit.
one, this one is more for people like who are already in Strife to win a key for friends, unless you're Blue Mango. Because then you
There
can
it is.
just like give your key to.
Who's the best solo bot hero? Is the question.
Yeah. Okay, so you can mail in those answers to those question to that question. You can mail in the answer to Vexxie at gtcgaming.com. Now, Wings has left us for a brief second, and we're going to dial down the show. So, I've been Vexxie. You can hit me up on Twitter, twitter.com/IamVexxie. With me as panel members have been Ryzen. You know him from Ryzen TV. Do you have any shit
Yes.
you want to plug, Ryzen?
Just twitch.tv/Ryzen TV, man.
Yeah, go
Stream
visit
all
that.
day, every
Good
day.
stuff. It's what I watch when I'm not playing. When I don't feel like playing, I check out Ryzen. With us also has been Tintenfisch Joe.
Thank you for having me. And if you guys want, I have a Twitch channel as well. And this Tuesday, I'm going to start Newbie Tuesday. So if you're new at the game, come play with us. We'll all learn about the game together.
Ooh, nice. Good
Yeah.
for the new players.
Yeah, good stuff.
So,
Because we
so you learn
been
not to
getting
buy
more
Empowered
new
Bracer.
players. Buy Empowered Bracer, it's OP.
Fuck you.
And the mystery man
And
missing at this point is WingsLTD, who provided you with all those really, really cool voiceovers. Now we're going to
Very cool.
Yes, he's back. We were doing the outros where everybody plugs their shit like, oh, please come visit my website because it's so cool.
Yes, everyone, please watch me as I stalk Ryzen in his bedroom at www.ryzensbedroom.com.
And for
Pretty
$14.95, you can watch it.
And you can watch it for a Loch Ness Monster in Tree Fitty.
Yeah, I was told I was getting a 350 discount. Is that true?
Well,
Yes.
my
Vexxie
bed
gets
was
to watch
built
it for
for
free.
2.
This
Okay.
bed was made for...
So, anyway, the stream is gonna go down for a quick bit, for only like a second to create 2 separate files on my hard drive. But after that, I'll be up on Strife doing 1 or 2 or 3 games with whoever was watching and feels like playing. So come join us for some silliness and non-toxic games.
Good, I'm down.
Wait, non-toxic. I'm not a Crayola.
Yeah, but we'll put you on. I'll tell you the same thing I told Fett. Fett said he was a rager, so I said that whenever he felt like raging, I would calm him down, like rub his belly and say, "Hey, beautiful, it's okay."
And then give him his little dog toy, and he's all happy.
I don't think that a dog toy is I don't think that a dog toy is Wings' thing per se. I think if we give him like a replica Bane mask, he'll be like
The best.
happy forever.
Oh, man.
When's your birthday, man?
My birthday was January 28th.
Oh, you have to get your mask a year later.
Oh.